The Temple Mount in Jerusalem has never been excavated, but an illegal construction project 20 years ago opened the door to some major discoveries.
Right now, beneath one of the most sacred pieces of land on Earth, scientists are pulling back the curtain on secrets that have been buried for over 2,000 years. And just days ago, literally in December 2025, archaeologists working under the Western Wall Plaza in Jerusalem made a discovery so significant that experts are calling it a direct portal into one of the most dramatic moments in human history, the Roman destruction of Jerusalem in 70 CE. Stay with me, because this is one of those stories where the deeper they dig, the more impossible and extraordinary the truth becomes. Before we get to what was just found, you need to understand why this particular piece of land is unlike any other on the planet. The Temple Mount sits in the heart of Jerusalem's Old City. It covers about 35 acres, roughly the size of 20 American football fields placed side by side. And in all of recorded human history, no stretch of land this size has seen more life, more war, more religion, and more mystery crammed into it. Over thousands of years, this single hill has been occupied and thought over by the Jebusites, the Israelites under King David and King Solomon, the Babylonians, the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, the Byzantines, the early Muslims, the Crusaders, the Mamluks, the Ottomans, and the British. Every single one of these civilizations left something behind, built something, burned something, buried something. And yet, here's the extraordinary part. Scientists have barely been able to touch it. For Jews around the world, this is where Solomon's temple and later Herod's Great Temple once stood. For Muslims, it is the Haram al-Sharif, the noble sanctuary, the third holiest site in Islam, where the Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque stand today. For Christians, it is where Jesus walked and preached. Because the site is so sacred to so many people, full archaeological excavations inside the compound are essentially forbidden. The Islamic authority that controls the site, known as the Waqf, does not permit standard digging inside the compound. This is why every discovery that does happen here shakes the entire world of archaeology. Scientists are working around the edges, underneath the plazas, and through existing tunnel systems, and even then, what they find is breathtaking. So when we say they found something in December 2025 that's leaving experts speechless, you need to understand, this is coming from a place that almost never gives up its secrets. Let's get into what was just found. On December 29, 2025, the Israel Antiquities Authority, or the IAA, and the Western Wall Heritage Foundation officially announced the discovery of a 2,000-year-old mikvah directly beneath the Western Wall Plaza in Jerusalem. Now, a mikvah, pronounced mikveh, is a Jewish ritual purification bath. These were not decorative pools. These were deeply sacred spaces. In Jewish law, before entering the temple, worshippers were required to purify themselves. Mikvahot, the plural of mikvah, were literally the last step before approaching God. And this one was found just steps away from the Temple Mount itself. Here's what the archaeologists found when they opened it up. The bath was carved directly into the solid bedrock. It measures approximately 10 feet long, 4 feet and 5 inches wide, and 6 feet and 1 inch high, big enough for a person to fully immerse themselves. 4 stone steps lead down into the bath. A water channel on the side, still visible after 2,000 years, was used to fill it with fresh water. The bath was sealed beneath a thick destruction layer, and that's where it gets haunting. Inside that destruction layer, excavation director Ari Levy and his team found burned ash, collapsed stone, and domestic items, all crushed and burned together in what appears to have been a sudden, violent end. The walls of the mikveh itself are blackened, scorched black. The surrounding soil carries the same burn marks. This was not slow decay, this was fire. The fire of 70 CE, when the Roman army under General Titus stormed Jerusalem, burned the temple to the ground and ended an era of Jewish civilization that had existed for centuries. That fire, that single catastrophic event from 2,000 years ago, is still visible on these stones today. Ari Levy, the AIA excavation director, described the site in a way that sent chills through the archaeology world. He told the Times of Israel, Jerusalem was not a city with a temple, but a temple with a city. What he means is this: every road, every house, every bath, every stone in Jerusalem was oriented around the temple. Religion didn't exist on the side of daily life. It was daily life. And the Mikvah proves it. It was found exactly between two of the main entrance routes to the temple, just north of what's known as the Great Bridge and just south of Robinson's Arch. This was the path the pilgrims walked. The very last thing they did before entering the temple of God was stop here, step down into this bath, and purify themselves. Then Rome came, and everything stopped in a single moment. And that moment, frozen in ash and stone, is what scientists just uncovered beneath your feet. The Mikvah wasn't the only thing found in this excavation. Inside the same destruction layers, those burned, collapsed stones left by the Roman conquest, archaeologists also recovered pottery fragments and stone vessels that were commonly used during the late Second Temple period, roughly the 1st century BCE to 70 CE. These stone vessels are particularly significant. In Jewish law of that era, stone was considered immune to ritual impurity, unlike clay or metal, which could become impure and need to be discarded. So the presence of stone vessels alongside the Mikvah is not accidental. It confirms that this entire area was deeply embedded in religious practice. Just a few meters away from the Mikvah, archaeologists also found the remains of a Roman bathhouse from the 3rd or 4th CE, from the period when Rome had renamed Jerusalem Aelia Capitolana and banned Jews from entering the city entirely. Within the same excavation zone, researchers have previously found buildings and artifacts from the Ottoman, Byzantine, and Roman periods, layer upon layer, century upon century, all stacked on top of each other beneath a single plaza. And Ari Levy confirmed to journalists that the team believes they have only just reached the destruction layer. They expect to uncover more structures from the late Second Temple period as they go deeper, and potentially even from the Hasmonean period, dating back to the 2nd and 1st BCE years.
In other words, this excavation is just getting started. What was announced in December 2025 is likely the beginning of a series of revelations. Now let's go back just a few months before the Mikvah discovery, because 2025 as a whole has been an absolutely remarkable year for Temple Mount archaeology. In July 2025, researchers working on the Temple Mount sifting project made a completely different kind of discovery, and this one connects directly to the Bible. A 2,600-year-old clay bulla was identified. A bulla is a small piece of clay that was pressed with a seal, essentially an ancient stamp used to authenticate documents and official letters, the same way we might use a signature or a wax seal today. This particular bulla is inscribed in Hebrew with the name Yediah, son of Asayahu, a name that researchers believe may reference a biblical official from the period of the First Temple, around the time of King Josiah or the Babylonian conquest of Jerusalem. The Temple Mount Sifting Project has been responsible for finds like this since 2005. The project was established for a very specific and infuriating reason. In the late 1990s, the Waqf converted a large underground area on the Temple Mount into a mosque. In doing so, they brought in bulldozers and heavy machinery, working without archaeological supervision in violation of Israeli antiquities law, and removed approximately 400 truckloads of soil, roughly 9,000 tons of archaeologically rich earth, and dumped it unceremoniously into the nearby Kidron Valley. Israeli archaeologists were horrified. That soil contained thousands of years of human history. The sifting project was created to salvage whatever could still be found in that discarded earth. And what they found is staggering. Artifacts spanning from the Bronze Age all the way to the 20th century, including coins from the Great Jewish Revolt against Rome, Crusader-era silver coins, ancient scarabs, and now this remarkable clay seal from the era of the First Temple. Here's something that most people don't realize. Beneath the Temple Mount and the surrounding area, there is an entire underground world. The Western Wall Tunnel runs for 500 meters, roughly a third of a mile, along the underground western face of the Temple Mount. It exposes construction techniques from Herod's era, water channels, ancient streets, and structures from multiple civilizations spanning over 2,000 years. In May 2020, archaeologists from the Israel Antiquities Authority uncovered something particularly mysterious, a complex of underground chambers carved directly into the bedrock beneath the Western Wall Plaza. These chambers, accessed through a narrow corridor, featured carved niches and channels, but their exact purpose still hasn't been confirmed. Researchers have proposed industrial use, ritual immersion, or storage, but no definitive answer has been established yet. Deep within the Western Wall Tunnel, there's also an ancient water channel that once supplied water directly to the Temple Mount itself. It passes through a large underground pool known as the Struthion Pool, a cavernous, echoing space carved out of solid rock below the streets of Jerusalem. And then there are the structures we haven't been able to reach yet. Advanced subsurface scanning technology, including AI-assisted ground-penetrating analysis, has recently been applied to the area around the Temple Mount. What researchers found has added a new layer of intrigue: density shifts beneath the surface that follow geometric symmetrical patterns, shapes that don't match any of the known construction phases from the Herodian, Roman, Byzantine, or Ottoman periods. To be clear, these are not confirmed discoveries. No excavation has yet reached these formations, but the fact that structured, geometrically precise anomalies exist underground in an area this size, at a site with this much history, is something archaeologists say they cannot simply dismiss. The Temple Mount holds thousands of years of civilization stacked on top of each other, and right now, the world has access to only a fraction of what's buried down there. You might be asking, why does any of this matter to me? Here's the answer. The Temple Mount is the single most contested piece of real estate in the world. It sits at the center of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It is the focal point of 3 of the world's largest religions. Wars have been fought over it. Peace deals have collapsed because of it. And its history, what actually happened there, who built what and when, has been a source of fierce political and religious debate for decades. Every authentic discovery made here carries enormous weight. When a 2,000-year-old mikvah is pulled from beneath the Western Wall Plaza, still covered in the ash of the Roman destruction of 70 CE, it doesn't just tell us about one bath. It tells us what life actually looked like for ordinary Jewish families in Jerusalem 2,000 years ago. It confirms details that previously existed only in ancient texts. It connects the physical world to the historical record in a way that no book alone can do. When a 2,600-year-old clay seal is identified with a name from biblical scripture, it doesn't just confirm one official's existence, it confirms that these records, written over millennia, were written by real people, about real events, in a real place, that archaeology is now slowly, carefully bringing back to life. The IAA's excavation director, Ari Levy, said he is confident they will uncover more structures as they go deeper. He specifically mentioned structures from the Hasmonean period, meaning discoveries that could date back over 2,100 years. The excavations are ongoing as of early 2026. This story is not finished. It is just beginning. So what do you think is still buried beneath the Temple Mount? Let us know in the comments below. And if this blew your mind, hit that like button and subscribe, because every week we cover the biggest discoveries that are rewriting history in real time.